Hi, it's Anthony Iannarino, and I want to invite you to join me at the Institute for Excellence in Sales Customer Acquisition Symposium on November 13th. I'm going to be there speaking, but I'm not going to be alone. And I've got some notes here in front of me. I'm going to use these notes because it's so important that I get all of this right, and because I really want you to be there. And I want to talk about some of my friends. So in this day, you and your team are going to get nothing but content around how you can develop customers faster and how you can succeed in 2016. And you're going to leave with your head spinning, and we're going to rock your socks off. So I've worked with some of these guys. I want to talk about each of them for 1 minute or less individually and tell you what they're going to do. So I've got my notes here on the iPad just so I can remember what everybody's doing. And I want to start with Jeb Blount. And I just worked with Jeb in Atlanta. I saw him give a keynote. I saw him give 2 workshops. We worked together at a gig that I booked for us, and Jeb was amazing. His content is spectacular. His new book should be, by the time you're watching this, it's probably on Amazon. It's called Fanatical Prospecting, and he's going to teach you the fine art of interrupting in his keynote. This is a 17 to 20 minute TED-style talk that's going to set up the rest of the day. And so Jeb is going to talk about the fine art of interrupting, and then he's going to talk about leveraging a strategic prospecting campaign in his workshop. So after you get the keynotes, you're going to get workshops in the afternoon. And that workshop with Jeb is just going to drill in really deeply on prospecting. And he's the best in the world at this. And we also have Mike Weinberg, another guy who's the best in the world at this. You will know how to prospect. You will have a better plan by the time Jeb is done with you. The second one on my list is Mark Hunter. I worked with Mark Hunter. We both spoke together at Toro, and the second he started speaking, it was like a bomb went off in the back of the room. So we call him lovingly Angry Mark because he can get pretty riled up. And he comes in from the back of the room and it's like an explosion went off. He's fun, he's entertaining, he's adamant about the points that he makes. And what he's going to be talking about is getting into the C-suite. And right now that's so important that you find somebody who can be dissatisfied enough and also has the authority to make change. This is going to be a killer keynote for you, followed up with your roadmap to winning CEOs and senior level leaders. Another great workshop where you're going to actually get to drill in on not only what do you do, how do you do it? And that's so important. You're going to learn the techniques that you and your team can use to do that. And next on the list, my buddy Mike Weinberg. What can I say about Mike? He's a wonderful friend. He's a great guy. I worked with him. We did a 2-day workshop for a client together. He's totally different than I am, but his personality, people fall in love with Mike when he talks. He's terrific. Acquire new clients by moving from vendor to value creator. That sounds like a title that I'm in love with already because I think that that's the transition that most of us have to make. His breakout's going to be your 3 critical new business development sales weapons. So if you read New Sales Simplified, you're going to learn how do you create these weapons? How do you arm your team? Or if you're there by yourself, how do you develop the tools that you need to really be able to effectively win new business? Mike is, again, best in the world at this. You don't want to miss him. That's 3 already. We're already at 3 plus me makes 4, and we're not done yet. There's still 2 more to go. Miles Austin. We call him Miles Lineal because he's better at the tools of selling than almost anybody in their 20s or 30s. He's amazing. All of us turn to him. He's like our full-time tech support. You can find him at Fill the Funnel. New tools, old rules. And I like this about Miles. Miles is going to tell you, how do you use these new tools but still sell effectively? That's what he wants to teach you. How do you still sell effectively? Because you can use the new tools, but you still have to do a lot of the things that were always important in sales, and Miles will teach you that. The breakout's going to be technology, tools, and tactics that every salesperson should be using. So this is funny. Every time we do one of our webinars, at the end, all of us get a giant list. Will you please tell Miles to give us the list of tools? Miles is going to he will give you the list of tools, and he will show you how to use them, and he'll show you how to create value in your interactions with your prospective customers and clients using the best tools available right now. So you're going to love Miles. He's terrific. He has a great sense of humor, and we love him. That will be, this piece of it will be very different than the rest of it. It's going to be very tactical, and you're going to be immediately putting it to use. And the last one, John Spence. So John comes from a different world. John spends most of his time on leadership, but he's always worked with sales organizations. He was a sales trainer, and he's amazingly energetic. That's an understatement. He's like another guy where he's wired, he's set really high. That's all I can tell you about John. If you don't know him, you will by the time we're done with you. John also is one of the deepest people when it comes to content that you'll ever meet. He reads 100 business books a year, and he's done that now for decades. So his knowledge of business ideas and philosophy and strategies and tactics is super deep, and he does it and delivers this in such a way that's so much fun. People fall in love with John. That's why he's part of our little team. He belongs here with us. He's terrific. He's going to give you a keynote called How to Build a World-Class Sales Career, and then the 3 keys to referability. That will be his workshop. You're going to love that. What do you have to be in order to be referable by your clients? Who do you have to be? What's going to make them comfortable saying you should buy from this person? John's going to give you that in his workshop. So you've got so far 5 people, 5 keynotes, all about 20-ish minutes long, and 5 breakout sessions. And in the breakout session, you're going to have a deep dive into this content. I'm last on the list. I'm going to deal with how to create a compelling case for change. So my view is right now, the greatest challenge that sales forces and sales organizations and salespeople are dealing with is the fact that most of their clients don't yet accept that they have to change. That's the biggest thing that they're dealing with. They have what we would call dormant dissatisfaction. They should be dissatisfied, but it hasn't risen to the level that it's compelling enough for them to change. So in my keynote, I'm going to talk to you about how do you create a compelling case for change when your customer has no interest in changing. That's the topic. The breakout's going to be developing dormant dissatisfaction. And I've got a couple worksheets for you and a workshop exercise that I promise you, when you leave, you will have a strategy and a list of tactics that you can take to go into the world and immediately start talking to your customers and clients who don't feel that they're dissatisfied, and you're going to be able to create that compelling case for change. So I keep holding up my iPad for you. This is the website. It is i4esbd.com. I'll put that here on the screen for you. You'll also see a link to it, and the / is CAS, Customer Acquisition Symposium. There's going to be 6 of us speaking. All 6 of us are going to do a TED-style talk, and then in the afternoon we're going to do a workshop. So bring yourself, bring your team, bring your questions. We're going to give you all this content. That's 6 of us for the whole day. And I think that if you were to pay for that, just one of us at a time, it would be a crazy amount of money. You're getting all 6 of us for somewhere around $350. You're getting the full day. If you sign up, shoot me a note. There's going to be a secret meetup somewhere. We'd love to meet with you. Love to meet you and your team. And I look forward to seeing you on November 13th. I'm Anthony Iannarino, and I will see you in Washington, D.C. at the Customer Acquisition Symposium hosted by our friends at the Institute for Excellence in Sales. Thanks for listening.